I'm on location in Astoria, Queens, where the opening scene to GoodFellas was filmed.
To me, being a gangster was better than being president of the United States. Even before I first wandered into the cab stand for an after-school job, I knew I wanted to be a part of them. It was there that I knew that I belonged. And to me, it meant being somebody in a neighborhood that was full of nobodies. They weren't like anybody else. I mean, they did whatever they wanted. They double parked in front of a hydrant and nobody ever gave them a ticket. In the summer, when they played cards all night, nobody ever called the cops.
Must I forever be a beggar? Good. Good to see you. Whose golden dreams will not come true.
Hey, Tony Stacks, how are you?
Will I go from rags to
Tony Cicero.
This Peter Canasi kid.
my fate is up to you.
Tootie.
Make it, Tony.
Tootie ran the cab stand and La Bella Vista Pizzeria and a few other places for his brother Paul, who was the boss over everybody in the neighborhood.
Hello, Paulie. Hey, Paulie.
Paulie might have moved slow, but it was only because Paulie didn't have to move for anybody.
Must I forever be a beggar?
It's your fault.
You started.
I started it. It's your
Hey,
fault.
Junior, here.
At first, my parents loved that I found a job across the street from the house.
Henry, don't play ball.
My father, who was Irish, was sent to work at the age of 11, and he liked that I got myself a job. He always used to say that American kids were spoiled lazy.
Bye, sis. Bye, Dad. Bye, Henry. See you, Mikey. Say goodbye to you. Bye, Henry. Henry, watch how you cross. And bring back milk.
And my mother was happy after she found out that the Ciceros came from the same part of Sicily as she did. I mean, to my mother, that was the answer to all her prayers. I was the luckiest kid in the world. I could go anywhere, I could do anything. I knew everybody and everybody knew me. Wise guys would pull up and Tootie would toss me their keys and let me park their Cadillacs. I mean, here I am, this little kid, I can't even see over the steering wheel, and I'm parking Cadillacs. But it wasn't too long before my parents changed their minds about my job at the cab stand.
For your mother and sister, make sure you give them to her.
For them, the cab stand was supposed to be a part-time job, but for me, it was definitely full-time. That's all I wanted to do. And see, people like my father could never understand, but I was a part of something. I belonged. I was treated like a grown-up.
Harry, look, Henry, tell him 519. It's a bad
Every
number.
day I was learning to score. $1 here, $1 there. I was living in a fantasy.
Fuck is Motorman spot.
And just on the block is the location where they filmed Paulie's home.
How could I go back to school after that and pledge allegiance to the flag and sit through good government bullshit? Paulie hated phones. He wouldn't have one in his house.
Mikey called. You want me to call him back?
No, I make the call, guys.
He used to get all his calls secondhand, then you'd have to call the people back from an outside phone.
You get it, Nickel? Yeah. Get him on the phone for me.
Don't get your feet.
There were guys, that's all they did. All day long was take care of Paulie's phone calls. For a guy who moved all day long, Paulie didn't talk to 6 people. If there was a union problem or, say, a beef in the numbers, then only the top guys could meet with Paulie to discuss the problem. Everything was one-on-one. Paulie hated conferences. He didn't want anybody hearing what he said, and he didn't want anybody listening to what he was being told. Hundreds of guys depended on Paulie, and he got a piece of everything they made. It was tribute, just like in the old country, except they were doing it here in America. And all they got from Paulie was protection from other guys looking to rip them off. And that's what it's all about. That's what the FBI could never understand. That what Paulie and the organization does is offer protection for people who can't go to the cops. That's it. That's all it is. They're like the police department for wise guys.